Hey everybody, welcome back, fellow nostalgia aficionados. David Eon here in the Open by Chance Vintage Toy Museum with pickups. That's right, toy hunting, toy hauls over this weekend. Not from the Retro Toy Swap in Powder Springs, which I've already done a separate video on that. And I'll link it to the end of this video if you have not seen that, because we found some great stuff at the Retro Toy Swap convention. But estate sale, yard sale hunting, which doesn't really pan out very well anymore. Not like in the old days. I used to have a field day going to yard sales and estate sales and things back in the day, even in the early 2000s, and it's so few and far between anymore that it's almost discouraging. But 2 weeks in a row now, 2 weeks in a row, we've scored. We have actually scored going out to estate sales and yard sales. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some of what we found. This may shock a lot of people, and I was kind of surprised to see this myself. It's Donny Osmond, the Mattel, what, 1976? Donny Osmond in the box. Look at this. $5. $5 at an estate sale. $5. I was shocked. I mean, the box is not perfect, but will I rescue a vintage Mattel Donny Osmond doll from a estate sale or a yard sale? Absolutely. Absolutely. $5. Yes, this is coming home with me. The cellophane's pretty good too. If you notice that, it's pretty clear. It's not all split or cracked, and it's not all yellowed. You often see that with these older dolls. There obviously was a big clearance tag here at one point that someone peeled off. I don't want to interfere with this too much. It's got a Lionel Playworld price tag underneath for $8.49. It says under there. I don't think you can see that, but yeah, great find, I thought. Donny. Let me see. Check this out. You may not know what this is. I'm going to tell you. It's also by Mattel. It's a Bugs Bunny guitar, and that's G-E-E tar. Guitar is what they used to call these, and of course Mattel was well known for pull strings and for winding action toys. And it's obviously not in the best shape. The string is broken away, and Bugs is kind of worn out. But what was unique about this, it still works. The damn thing still works. His eyes still even shift back and forth, if you noticed. That's incredible that this thing is still functioning. Incredible that it was still functioning. And this was, I want to say $3. $3. So I thought it was a fun pickup. I used to have a collection of these. In really nice shape, as well as other little toy guitars, and part of the collection that I lost many years ago. So that was a fun find, I thought. This is incredible, and I want to say I paid $4 for it. I showed this on the live stream this past Saturday. Oh, look at that. He can see you. He can see you. And obviously, it tells you right there, that's Porky. This is Porky Pig, okay? This is Porky Pig. This is a cast iron bank. This is about 2 pounds. This is a heavy sucker. You see, it's like about 1/4 of an inch thick there. It is an original Ubley. This is an original Ubley. Still has the screw. That's very important. Original paint scheme. My wife teased me about using a Brillo pad to scrub it up. She doesn't mean it, but she says that stuff to tease me. I'm not cleaning this. I'm leaving it as is. This was, I want to say, $4 at the yard sale. And that's an incredible find. Ubley made these in 1930. So he is 96 years old. 96 years old. Vintage for 4 more years. In 2030, he will officially be an antique. 100 years, an antique. What an incredible find. What an incredible find. I love this kind of nostalgia. Not a toy, but it fits. And he has a new home. What do you think, guys? The paint looks really good on this too, I think. What else have I got? Oh yeah. Look at this. Not a toy, but you know, I do collect vintage Halloween and Christmas decor. And this kind of fits. This is a Carlton seasonal jar, and they came in different sizes. Let me give you a better look at the, because the lithograph is in fantastic shape. You know, just like with old glasses that people collect, these are usually in pretty rough shape, all scratched up and scraped up or faded out from being washed or whatever. Carlton made these, I believe, in the 1970s in different sizes. This is the 3-liter jar. So 3/4 of a gallon, 3-liter jar. Again, great scheming there. Still has the cap. Doesn't smell like anything. I was hoping it would smell like candy corn. Seriously. I could fill this with candy corn. What do you think? Should I fill this up with candy corn? My wife will probably eat it all. She likes candy corn. Carlton glass. And it fits with the, again, vintage holiday items that I like to purchase. And the person gave this to me. I inquired about it, and she said no one else noticed it. You know what? You can have it. Oh man, I am thrilled. Because yeah, I mean, I don't really, I'm not a reseller. I rarely sell anything. So, but I'm keeping this. Are you kidding? Oh, I'll save that one for last. Check this out. It's Uncle Arthur's, 3 volumes of Uncle Arthur's bedtime stories. Children's book series. And we also do collect children's books. We do collect children's books, especially if it's anything like this that might be, and there is Uncle Arthur, the actual person, by the way. Yes, he existed with a variety of children from different cultures. And if I can even remember when these were published, I want to say in the early 50s. Yeah, here it is, copyright 1951. There it is. And it's a variety of children's stories, sort of like Dick and Jane. You know what I mean? And I do also collect like vintage children's literature from public schools, like Dick and Jane. And this fits right in there with it. These were $1 a piece. These were $1 a piece. I think that was a good investment. I love this kind of stuff. You collect anything like this? Do you remember? Because they don't even do stuff like that in public schools anymore. You remember the old Dick and Janes and the other storybooks like that, or the Bobbsey Twins series, Hardy Boys, or Nancy Drew, stuff like that. I love that. Very nostalgic. Now this, here we go. Who knows who that is? Because I have a couple of these. I've shown them before on like the live streams. This is Rutherford. This is actually Rutherford III, made by Russ in the 1980s. And it was kind of a knockoff of Monchichi. Because you see he's got all these orifices that you can like stick his thumb and fingers into. Like, there we go. Let's take your toe and put it in your ear. You know, he can do stuff like that. Like Monchichi. And Russ and Applause and makers like that made characters like this and sold them in like Hallmark stores. So you had Rutherford and you had Gonga and characters like that. They're, again, essentially high-end knockoffs of Monchichi. And I collect those. And I found this at an estate sale. And it was the final day of the estate sale. It was a 5-day estate sale. I think it was Wednesday through Sunday. And each day there would be an additional discount. And this is actually a really, really interesting tete-a-tete. Look at this. This is personalized as a gift in 1985. I love that it still has the tag. I paid $1.25 for it, which I thought was a great price. I had, again, an interesting conversation with the woman who was running the estate sale, because there was almost a bit of a confrontation. And I think actually I'm going to do an independent video about just the whole aesthetic of, or the whole concept rather, of estate sale marketing in the modern era in a different video, because of the conversation that revolved around this and another item which I did not buy, which was a Dapper Dan, a Play School Dapper Dan. Iconic toy, not worth a lot though. And the questions that she asked me, because this did not have a price on it. And I don't mean to tease too much, but I want to save that for, I think that's a whole separate topic of discussion that I may do a video on at a later date. Probably in the next couple of days, actually. And these I found also. I just thought this was cute. These are handmade Raggedy Ann and Andy, and my wife collects Raggedy Ann and Andy, which is why I grabbed these. And they're hand crocheted, hand painted. They are clothespins and pipe cleaners and crochet that somebody made little Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls at one point for someone. And I paid like $1 for these so that I could give them to my wife, because why not? So there we are. That's the pickups. And again, the second week in a row I've had good fortune going out to estate sales, yard sales, thrift stores, whatever. So now I will bounce it back there. Anything there really catch your eye? What did I show you that you were like, I remember that, or I would have bought that, or, also you could tell me if you've been out. How about this? Have you been to a yard sale, flea market, estate sale, thrift store recently and had some incredible luck? Tell me about it in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up. It's supposed to help the algorithm. I think that's a lie, but I appreciate it. Hype it if you can, share it if you will, subscribe if you're new, all of that good stuff. Check out some of our other content. And if that is it, then what more can I say but thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.